What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Who What Now Gaming, podcast for consumers by consumers, where we ask the questions: who are you, what got you into gaming, and what type of gamer are you now? I am your humble host, Josh Stewart, and today we have an absolute treat. Killing it on streaming on everywhere, honestly. YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook. I mean, anywhere that the live button is accessible, streaming. All right. Please help me welcome Jugenslagz. How you doing, dude?
Thank you so much for that awesome introduction, Josh. I'm doing great, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing great. I'm glad that I'm in a position where I can start creating content and going live. Like, I was dreaming about this, and now that I'm actually doing it, it's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
What about yourself? How you doing?
I mean, good. I mean, I guess, I'm always good. Honestly, I'm always I'm doing the positive vibe thing all the time. I try not to let
Love
things
that.
bring me down. So every day is a good day. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
So let's like dive into here. So tell our viewers who you are. Who are you as a person, as a content creator? What are you about, dude?
Yeah. I honestly don't even know where to begin. I was born. No, I'm just kidding. I'm 28 years old.
It all started way back.
No, seriously, I think that's important because some people don't know how old I am. They think I'm younger than I actually am. I'm actually 28 years old.
Nice.
I was born in an era where, video games really started getting popular. I was still in that era where if you played video games, you were like frowned upon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's funny how my life was kind of built around video games. And
Right.
I feel like a lot of gamers can, feel the same way that I feel. I've never really thought about a time in my life where I didn't have video games. You know what I mean? So I was actually born in Haiti. I moved to America when I was 2 years old. And as soon as I was in America, there was video games all over the place.
Yep.
I don't exactly remember what video game I started with, but I remember Atari. I remember the Super Nintendo, you name it, all the old school ones. Rampage. You remember Rampage, the 8-bit game where you were punching?
I do.
I remember that. I remember having that in the house. I don't know whose system it was, but I remember playing it. When I came to America, I lived in New York, in Brooklyn. And when I was in Brooklyn, that's where I made a lot of my, childhood friends that I'm still friends with today. And we still play video games today, through like Discord and all that good stuff. So that's another reason why video games was always in my life, because it kept me connected with a lot of the friends and families that I had moved away from or kind of disconnected with. It was a way to bring us all back together from time to time, which is awesome. I stayed in Brooklyn for about like 10 years. Then I moved to Pennsylvania. I was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania for about, I think, 12 years. Like 12 years. I went to high school there. I went to McCaskey East High School. And JP, actually went to both. Then I really started getting into video games because I met, the boys. When you're in high school, you meet your boys. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we started playing Xbox 360. We started playing Halo. We started playing Gears. Those games that really bring you together. I was also a theater kid as well as a wrestler. So I was also in sports.
Really?
So I always packed my schedule with things. So when people see me doing a lot of things, I'm like, that's just who I've always been. You know what I mean? On top of that, I've always been an artist. As long as I could remember at a young age, I would just draw everywhere. I think that I was like addicted to immersion, like getting out of reality and like, going somewhere else.
100%.
Just imagination was just always my thing. So I was always either watching anime, drawing something, or playing a video game. After I moved to Pennsylvania, that's when I really started tapping into a lot of my talents, like with the computer. I started teaching myself Photoshop. I started teaching myself every program that I could think of or get my hands on. You know what I mean? As soon as I got a laptop, to the point where when I was in high school, my teacher tried to teach us Photoshop, and I even knew more than her. So I was like assisting her with teaching a lot of the students like how to do this, how to do that, and breaking it down for them, etc. I found
Nice.
out that I had a love for computers in high school. Before, computers were just like a thing. I didn't think of computers as like a game system. I thought
Right.
yeah, I thought a computer was just a computer. I thought
Yep.
PlayStation and Xbox were the game systems. And I would always hear PC this, PC that. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would ever get a PC. Let alone when I went to college, that's when I was like, you know what? Let me try this PC thing out. Cause, college, you need to do your homework on a PC.
Right.
Having a laptop is not always the best like option. Sometimes laptops break really easily because you're walking
Mm-hmm.
around with them. So you know what I did to get my PC, Josh?
What'd you do?
I used my refund check from college to get my PC. So instead of paying for textbooks, I actually took that refund check and got my own custom PC built. It was like $1,500. It's the same PC I'm on right now, the same PC I'm talking to
Nice.
right now. I've had it for like almost 10 years now. It's ridiculous. Like, she's still strong as heck. I tried to make it as strong as possible and as future proof as possible, and she's been holding up. Eventually streaming like came to me as like something that I thought was dumb at first. Like, I know that sounds
Yep.
crazy because I'm a streamer right now.
Right.
I remember looking at my nephews and my nieces watching other people watch things, and I used to be like, why are you doing that?
Yep.
Like, that's kind of dumb. Like, why aren't you watching things yourself? So eventually my homeboy, my best friend who's my age, because first I seen little kids doing it,
Right.
like little kids in my family. Then my homeboy that's my age, who stayed in Brooklyn, and he while I moved in Pennsylvania, we were connected by video games. He
Right.
started watching streamers. Like, he would name Dashy. I would always hear him say Dashy's name, RDC, all these different. And I'm like, what language are you speaking, brother? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know any of these people. And he's like, they're YouTubers.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I took a chance and I was like, let me just watch this with him one time. Let me see what it's about. I didn't like it. I was like, yo, this is
Yeah.
weird. I didn't
Me
like this. I
neither.
was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So eventually, I don't know how I got into the culture of watching streamers, but I found niches that I like people that talked about anime, people that talked about video games that I like. Eventually, the streamer that he watches played a video game that I like. So I started getting the humor more because he was playing video games I didn't understand. So when he said funny things, I was like, what is he talking about? But once he started playing video games that I knew of, I started getting part of the lingo and part of like the little community. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's when I was like, yo, this is this is kind of hilarious. So I started streaming myself in 2020 mid-pandemic, which I feel like a lot of people did
A lot
because
of people did do that. Yeah.
we was stuck. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like, we had nowhere to go. I had the computer in my house, but I didn't have like all the components to start streaming. So I started out really small. I started out on just my PS4, I think. Yeah, my
Mm-hmm.
PS4. I would just go live on there. Then eventually I got a camera. I started getting the pieces I needed for my computer to make it better, like my mic, etc. The ring light, so you can see the face, you see the glow. This is all that ring light. I didn't know how important that was.
Yeah.
Got a stream deck, etc. About 9 months ago, which is like 10 years after I moved to
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania, I moved to New York, back to New York with my family, with my mom and my sister. So now we're in more of a comfortable space. Now I'm more comfortable with sitting down and spending that time to play video games when I'm not working. And that's me. Yeah.
Dude, that's fantastic. First off, thank you for sharing that. That was awesome. I feel I mean my brain's going nuts right now because it just sparked like a million questions and stuff that I want to talk about.
Let's
And
talk. Let's do this.
one of the points, watching streamers and being like, oh, this is dumb. 100% can relate to this. I thought this would be probably one of the dumbest things that was going on in the world was that, there's a video game that came out and then you are watching somebody play a video game. And then it got to a point where there were streamers watching other streamers while streaming. So now you're watching somebody watch
Watch
somebody play a
somebody.
video game. Yeah, and so it's this constant like back and forth. But I'm watching this and I'm like, these games aren't things that I'm interested in. And then as you know, all of our listeners, know or at least should know by now, super nerd here. So I love like Dungeons and Dragons and like TTRPGs and stuff. And one of my favorite games of all time is Baldur's Gate 3. And even though it only came out in like the last like year or so, it is like expanded my like horizons for what games could be and like the potentials of them and stuff. And so I started watching people stream playing the game while I'm like out at my job or something. Like I've played the game, I know what everything looks like, I can tell where they're at and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a headphone in and let the stream go on in the background, and then I can just listen and lurk and stuff and just kind of enjoy it. And it got to a point where I was starting to understand the streaming part. Now, I am very new to streaming because I didn't think that I had that like what do they call it, like imposter syndrome kind of thing, where I'm
Yeah.
like, nobody wants to see me because like I don't want to I'm not
Like,
going to
who
waste
am
my
I? Like,
time.
who
And
would be interested in
yeah,
me? Yeah.
exactly, 100%. And so one day I went to with our tech guy of the show, Noah. We went to PAX Unplugged. And so while we were at that event, there was a panel where they were talking about, creating content and getting yourself out there. And from that moment on, I decided this is exactly what I'm going to do. And so I did exactly what you're talking about. Right now, I stream off of the PlayStation 5, but I have a graphic card, and I have it all going through my laptop. And I got the camera. I got a big old light up there. I bought some like they were like basically like Christmas floodlights. I just threw those in the background. Now we got some color in the
Yeah.
background, kind of
Look
thing.
at that.
And then I don't know if you can see it. You probably could if I moved the camera and stuff. But I made a sign and then threw some LED lights behind that. Let's see if I can. Whoop.
That's
So now
dope.
that'll like
That's
change
dope.
color throughout like what I'm
What?
doing and stuff. And so like I've been kind of just building up the area of
Yeah.
what I'm wanting to do. But like you said, like being able to slowly build up to what you want to create, I think it's not only is it like inspirational, but it is almost like almost like a self pat on the back, where that you're going in the right direction because you're watching others who started out the exact same way that that I did, and you did 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So like it's
Exactly.
something where and I know that there are definitely streamers who who are either starting out or who have been doing this for quite a while, who listen to the show, and I wholeheartedly would put my money on the line that they would agree with me also. So it's so nice to hear, I guess is what I'm saying. Um, when you said you started with the computer, you started doing
Yeah.
the PC and everything. What were your initial thoughts when you started streaming? Like when you first hit, live, what was going through your head? Do you remember?
I yeah, I did. I was scared, honestly. I was like, man, people are gonna see my face. People are gonna swat me. I was making all types of excuses to tell myself not to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of telling myself to do it. One of the biggest driving factors to push me to do it was I was playing video games a lot, but I had bills to pay. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And when I played video games, I wasn't making any type of income, and I'm an adult now. So I'm like, how can I monetize this? And then I also realized, I don't always have to be on camera. If I'm not comfortable being on camera, I don't get on camera. It's just that simple.
Right.
I got a camera so that when I feel comfortable being on camera, I can show my face and engage with people. But the most amazing thing about it is that I felt like I'm creating my own like production studio. Like that's literally what
Yeah,
you
of
did.
course.
That's literally what I did. Just looking at your room, it blows my mind because I always tell myself, and the little kid that I was would be proud of what I've created right now. So that's what kept pushing me forward, despite having the fear of, putting my face out there in the world.
Absolutely.
Another layer of that is using my real name, right? So I use my real name online, right? So some people are skeptical about that, and I was very skeptical about that. But at the same time, I feel like people are going to recognize who I am eventually, and I don't
Right.
want to hide behind some kind of name. So I'd rather just use my real name, just make sure I don't mess up my name and my reputation. And as long as I
Yeah,
do
who would
that,
do
I'm
that?
all good. Yeah, who would do that, right? Like, what? Who would do that?
Yeah, that would be
That's,
crazy, right?
that's one of the scariest things right there. Before you click live, you're like, yo, I could do something dumb,
Yeah.
mess up my reputation,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Can I curse on here?
What's up?
Can I curse?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm trying to. Oh, my bad, brother. I
Uh,
was trying so hard not to curse. I'm
no.
like, I curse, man. I'm sorry. I appreciate you letting me know. I'm a cursor.
Of course. Fuck a duck. We throw that shit out there, man. You know what I'm saying? It's this is I throw the explicit thing at the bottom of the episode because I'm like, hey, whatever people want to express it, because this is a raw show. I barely do. Oh, actually, for the actual episode, I don't do any editing. I like the free flow of the actual episode.
Gotcha.
When I do like stuff for like the TikTok and stuff, I'll do some editing to make things like flow a little easier. But yeah, when people hear this is what they hear.
Nice.
And it's natural. And I mean, personally, I love it.
And I'm glad you said that, because I was skeptical about putting curse words out there, because I have some people in my life that don't like curse words. But at the same time, that's who I am. So I'm not gonna make my job more difficult for people that's not even gonna support me. Even if they're in my life, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's I think that when I see people go out and they like stream. Sorry, there must be an absolute fire or something going on in my neighborhood. This is like the third fire truck that just flew by.
That's crazy.
There's something about a content creator, and I say that being like, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, or a TikTok person, or any form of
my
creation.
camera just went off. Give me a second. Sorry.
Hey, you're good.
Yeah, you keep talking.
That if you basically if you be yourself, I think people relate a lot more easy to that. And I look back on streamers that I've tried to see, and they put on either like a persona, or they super censor themselves, or they're worried about if I say this thing, then I'm not going to get, I don't know, a sponsor or something. It's like, yeah, like, but remember, you, like, what you're putting out into the world is you and your content. If you want to have a persona, then have a persona, but like, remember, like, that is who that is going to be for the rest of your like streaming or content creation like career and stuff. And if you're like kind of like putting your content or creating content for like a younger audience, then yeah, absolutely censor yourself. It'd be crazy if like Miss Rachel was dropping F-bombs all the time. It'd be kind of bonkers, you know what I'm saying? But like, but like for me, like, I'm very open and honest, transparent. I'm a very new, Twitch streamer. I go by Phoenix Stewart, but I have the show here. I let everybody know it's me. It's Josh. I'm just a person. I'm just a human, just like everyone else.
Exactly.
I'm gonna make mistakes, and I can't always be, in the top whatever shape that streamers are always in, because I'm also just a person who also has to go to work, for 40-hour plus a week and stuff. So it is interesting to kind of see the development of streamers who go from starting off and then kind of changing midway through, and whether that it works out well for them or doesn't work out for them. I know that one of the biggest streamers in the world, which was Ninja, did kind of the same thing. Started off like super uncensored and then went super censored, and now is kind of like I would say has more found his voice and like the way that he wants to perceive himself. But also is mainly like like a Fortnite streamer, I think.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting, and I made a decision, as I'm sure you did as well. In the very beginning, starting streaming, you kind of have the idea where it's hey, I'm just gonna be me. I'm gonna be myself. I'm not gonna like lie to my fans and stuff, because it's this is a community who are here to hang out and support you and have like genuine conversations with you. And if I'm running around not being who I am, then one day when I do show who I am, everyone's going to be confused.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
That's my thoughts on it.
I think that those are amazing thoughts, because it's all about making sure you make it as convenient as possible for you. It's your business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to put on a costume every day and try to stream. Nah, I did this to play video games and get paid to play video games. And I even tell the people that watch me, don't expect more than that from me. Like if I do other things on stream, that's just because I'm just trying something out.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just me playing video games, because I don't want to drain myself and, stop doing this because I wanted to, try some crazy other thing on live that I might regret later on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I've thought like I'm a bit of a storyteller in my like actual life and in like my content creation life. I love to tell stories. I think there's like a lot of stupid, funny, crazy shit that's happened in my life that I think it's funny to share sometimes. And so like I will always like tell stories and be goofy and stuff. If I ever dress up for anything, it's solely because I'm just in a weird, goofy, fun mood, and that's just what I felt like doing that day. But it's not because I'm like, oh, more people will like me if I do this, specific thing.
Yeah.
And so, but I think that's what I think makes content creators so genuine, but also, and I think this is like a nice like transition point into what makes it so difficult as well, because there are I don't know, thousands of streamers. There are and even quadruple that to the amount of people who are watching streams. And it's funny when I go to like search a game or something on Twitch, I get home from work, I just want to grab a bite to eat, watch something and then go to bed. And I'll find myself like if I search like a game that I'm interested in, that day, there are so many streams where there's like maybe 17,000 people watching these people or 500 people watching these people. And I find myself now just scrolling as far down as I possibly can to find like those who are only at like 4 or 5 like views and stuff, because I think that number one, I think everyone deserves a shot. Everyone deserves an equal chance. But also, I feel like some of those streams are where I'm going to find the most genuine people. And I think that also, if I decide to comment in on, a chat, there's a higher chance that I'm actually going to like be able to speak to the streamer. Whereas if I jump into a stream with like, I don't know, trying to think of a streamer right now, but like, well, if we'll go back to Ninja. If I were to jump in a Ninja stream, there is a very, very, very low probability that he will even see my message, let alone have a conversation about the question that I have asked.
Exactly.
At a certain point, as a streamer, you kind of get used to talking to yourself, and then eventually you have a community that will talk with you, and then you get big enough where you're back to just talking to yourself, because that chat scroll just goes way too fast. You can't possibly talk to anybody.
Exactly. Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. Like Kai Cenat, like his chat just be like, I'm like, I'm surprised people are even writing things. Like I can't even see what's going on.
Yeah, I can't even read it just as a viewer.
Yeah, literally. But your question was about the difficulties, right? The difficulties of
Yeah, sorry, I have raging ADHD, and
no, it's all
I
good.
will
It's
go
all
on
good.
tangents like
It's
crazy.
all good, brother. I locked in the question right there. I caught it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
just let you
that's where it's
go.
at, man.
It's all good. so, so, um, oh my God, where do I begin? I don't want to say the difficulties to scare anybody from not streaming. Like none of these difficulties is enough to stop, but they are
Right.
annoying. For
Oh yeah,
example,
yeah.
me and Josh right here, we're doing a podcast. It took us like 30 minutes to get everything situated.
Yeah.
Even though we both know what we're doing, my camera was
Right.
not working for nothing. I had to
Yeah.
restart my whole computer, and sometimes you have to do things like that. The worst part is the first day. When you first start and you don't know where to go, it's like you're in a forest. You go this way, you go that way. You can start editing your background. You can start fixing your mic up, your pages. And then you're just like, I just want to play video games and just show people.
Yeah.
But that's the most important part, honestly. Like what you're doing in the background to
Yeah.
make things easier. Not just to make things look pretty, but to make things easier and optimize. That's the biggest word for me. How do I optimize this? How do I make this more efficient? I remember when I
100%.
first started, I think I had Streamlabs, right?
Yep.
I'm not trying to talk bad about Streamlabs or nothing, but Streamlabs gave me some difficulty, brother. Some difficulty. Like there were
Yeah.
times where I set everything up and then my computer would crash, or like I turn off my computer and turn it back on and all the settings are gone. Everything that I laid out is gone. I'm like, what the heck? Like I just did this yesterday.
Yeah.
And I have to do it all over again. Horrible. Then figuring out how to like link the streams to the different websites. But we have so much information online. I YouTube most of the stuff, got the answers right away. I wouldn't just try to guess. Every time I tried to
Right.
guess, I would sit there wasting time. So now when I have a question, I go straight to YouTube. I go straight to Google, whatever I need to use. You know what I mean? Now, we got Chat GPT. The youngest got it's beautiful. We're living in a beautiful time of information that's accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
So if you just look up the information, all this stuff becomes way easier. So technical difficulties is definitely one of my top ones. I go through technical difficulties every day, but they do get easier as things go on. Like now I'm more smooth with it. And I'm glad we're talking about this because my friends that are coming over, they want to stream too. But I'm slowly trying to help
Nice.
them become streamers. Like they didn't even have PCs. They finally got their PCs. One of them finally got an Elgato. And they
Nice.
tried to stream like I think like 2-3 days ago, Josh, and they couldn't get the audio working. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Oh my God. Oh my God.
The worst part is it'd be some of your best content when you first start too. Funny stuff starts happening. You got your energy is up, everybody's energy is up, and you stop, you find out the audio wasn't recording the whole time. You're like, yo,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
Let me tell you this, okay? Anyone who listens to this and watches the stream understands the amount of technical difficulties that I go through every single time we start the streams. Now, that being said, a little bit ago, my plug on because I use the PS5 and then I have that stream into my laptop and everything.
Yeah.
The plug for the laptop came loose from the wall, but it was still like there at the wall, so I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
So about halfway through our stream, maybe about an hour, maybe 2 hours or so into the stream, everything starts getting so laggy and so choppy, and the audio is cutting in and out to the point where I say something funny that I thought was hilarious. And I do the whole look over at chat to see everyone go, ha, 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 and no one.
Nobody
And
heard.
I'm like, come on, that was funny. Then I get a message saying, hey, stream is like, it's lagging out. And then I get a notification saying that stream ended. And I go,
Yo.
What is happening? So I had to reboot everything. I eventually figured out the problem and everything, and it was 100% on my end. But it was like one of those moments where I'm like, I'm over here just trying to play a game and be goofy and stuff.
Exactly.
And make content. just to like look over and find out that everything crashed and no one has been watching me for like 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm like, fantastic. So now I have to reboot everything, restart stream, which means now when I go to save the videos in through Twitch, it's not going to save as one video. It's now saved as 2 separate streams. And so now I got to go through. Now it's the process of labeling everything, letting people know, hey, you know, we did work through the story of our game. This is what happened.
Yeah.
This one's rough. If you want to know the story, like, you know, please just stick with it. If not, I'm not upset if you want to skip this one, you know, kind of thing. And we've had days where like things just go so awry and I'm just so exhausted. And I'm like, hey, listen, I love that everyone was here, you know, jumping in, supporting the stream, you know, and I care about, you know, everyone in my community so much. And I'm like, I can't justify continuing to stream if the view of the stream for the audience is not good.
Exactly.
Like if it's not something like if it's borderline unwatchable, I'm not going to put you through that, you know?
Exactly.
I would much rather end stream early and then spend the rest of my night trying to figure out why it's exactly, and fixing it. And so it's that like that level of care, because I'm like, honestly, I could do this on my own anyway. I have been for years, just playing a game and enjoying myself. But the fact that I want to do it and like, you know, have you know, those who enjoy my content be there with me, that's what I enjoy. I love the interactions. I love talking to people and sharing those stories and stuff. That's what's truly entertaining for me.
Exactly.
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't stream. You know,
exactly.
it's the community. Honestly, that's the reason I stream, because when it really boils down to it, without the community, it's just me playing a video game in my house, and I don't need a camera or a fancy laptop setup to play a video game in my house. You know what I mean? Like,
community is very big, and I definitely want to touch on that because I'm big about community, and the people that follow me.
Dude, you are
big about community.
Yeah,
but before we get into that, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I think that people assume that we're all tech savvy. We're not. I'm pretty tech savvy. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know shit.
But I don't know shit about nothing.
Dude,
what's this in front of our face right now? What is this? Nah, yo, that's hilarious, bro. I understand completely. But this is what I want to tell you, and I tell a lot of my clients this. I didn't mention this earlier, but I'm also a personal trainer in real life.
I did know that, yeah.
Oh, thank you for noticing. Thank you.
Listen, I've been following you for quite a while. I have been the real life. Well, that sounds horrible. I have been. I was gonna say the real life lurker, but that just sounds like I've been stalking you for years.
Nah, it's fine, bro.
Yeah, I've been following you on Facebook and stuff for like a long time, and I've been like, you know, kind of watching this whole thing like grow. But it was also one of those moments where I was like, I'm just, you know, me. Like nobody cares about like what I'm doing, so I never like jumped in and stuff. And then now that I've been, I've always been a very introverted person, so I put myself in a box. And so this year has been the year that I've dedicated to like putting myself out there. And so I've been reaching out, and I, you know, obviously I reached out to you. I've been jumping in your streams and checking out your you know, like the content more publicly instead of just by myself kind of thing. So anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's all good. I thank you for saying that. That honestly means that you've been supporting me, which I 100% appreciate, man. Like, thank you so much.
It's people doing it like quietly, so I shouldn't get too much credit.
That's fine. That's fine. Even if it's quietly, there's still something. You know what I mean? But before we get into community, what I wanted to say about the whole computer setup thing, and I want people to understand this and take this as far as they can. Like, it's a saying I like to say: the monkey that's on the spaceship doesn't know how to use the whole spaceship, but he's still an astronaut. Okay. And if you really try to break that down, you will understand. Yeah. You can do all this stuff. You don't have to know what every single button does, every single trick does, but you can still be a streamer. You know what I mean? Especially if you got people who's watching your back, because you are your own news anchor, as well as like director of photography and electrician and all that stuff at the same time. So you're doing a hard job. Thank you, man. Thank you. But like you said, community, If there's any new streamers that's listening to me right now, I would literally say do a social media app that your family and friends are on
Yeah.
first. I wanted to do Twitch first. I did do Twitch first, but my friends and family was like, "What the heck is a Twitch?" I barely
Yeah.
even knew what a Twitch was. So
Right.
a lot of them had to make Twitches. But when Facebook bought Meta, I think like
Yeah.
or what was it called again? What was it? What was that streaming platform that Ninja was on, and then it like went down?
Was that? No, that wasn't Kick. What was Yeah, I don't know. I
forgot
know
what
what you're
it's.
talking
You
about
know what
though.
I'm talking about. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
and
talking
it
about.
was supposed to be a huge thing,
It was
and they legitimately like bought out like
bought it
Ninja
ASAP.
specifically to like boost its like popularity, and
Yeah,
it just tanked.
Mixer.
Yeah, there it is. It tanked so bad.
I think so. What happened with Mixer is Mixer came out. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Mixer came out, and like you said, it was such a big thing.
Right.
Facebook bought it.
Yeah.
So that's when Facebook had, started doing their gaming thing. So Mixer's still technically there. It's just Facebook gaming now. Does that make sense? So
Okay.
as soon as Mixer went down, Facebook gaming went up, and it was like a whole acquisition thing, right? And then so I guess Ninja kind of was like, whoa, like I thought it was Mixer, so he kind of went back to doing his Twitch
Right.
thing.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
So I jumped on Facebook gaming because I'm like, yo, thank you, because I'm tired of telling my friends and family to download Twitch and make a Twitch and all this stuff. I don't have a problem with Twitch, but they don't know what that is. So when I was able to get on Facebook and also YouTube, but mostly Facebook, grandma's got Facebook. So I learned the power of Facebook gaming when I was streaming, and my own mom jumped in.
Yeah.
I never sent the link to my mom. I did not want her to see me cursing and all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, I was just gonna say, I was like, I was the only hesitation I have is there's some people that in my family, what I don't want them seeing what I stream. Like,
I mean, at the same time, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I wish I could go back and find that stream. I was kind of shocked. I was like, whoa, like I'm doing things on here I do not want my mom to see, but at the same time, it goes back to ripping that Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
I'm an adult, mom. Like, I'm going to make decisions, and, I might suffer some consequences sometimes, and I'm going to get through it to show you that your boy's growing. You know what I'm saying? So her just watching me, I was kind of like, what is she going to say? She started writing like so much positive stuff in the chat. It was kind of embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Juju, what you doing? Oh my God, this is amazing. You're working so hard. I'm proud of you. Then she started donating. I don't even know how she even figured that out. She started donating stars to me on Facebook, just donating.
That's awesome, dude.
I think she gave me like $20 or something like that. But just that was like, yo, like Facebook is where it's at. Whatever my community in real life, the people that, I like, know, and love, and like, know, and love me, where they're at is where I should be at. So that's when I started taking people from there and funneling them to Twitch and YouTube and etc. But that's where I got my initial following from.
Dude, I love that. I didn't do that. I might have to.
Yeah, do it. No, seriously. Get on Facebook. Get on Facebook today. Make a page. I'll give you one better. Now Facebook is paying for like reels and stuff. So that same Facebook page that you have that you're going live on, you can make it that you're a creator. And every time people watch your reels and ads come up or whatever the case may be, you get paid for that.
That would be awesome, actually. I mean, that's
One last thing too is people can subscribe to you on Facebook too, just like Twitch, and people can also donate to you. Obviously, the stars and the stickers and all that good stuff, but they get taxed beforehand. So what you receive is what you get. All right.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty cool though. Yeah, because then you don't have to do any of the extra math and stuff.
Exactly.
I'm cool with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. I went the Twitch route immediately, but not for any like specific purposes. I just kind of chose to like go with something that I've been watching
Yeah.
creators on for so long. So I that was just kind of where I went to. And it was relatively super easy to like kind of like set up and link everything together and
Yeah.
stuff. And then I spent some time with basically, you know, YouTube. You know, you can learn so much on YouTube. So I used YouTube basically to show me how to like set up everything on my Twitch page and everything. And it's been really cool that like how you say, you know, family jumped in. Like my dad jumps into my streams on Twitch like every
That's
so
awesome.
often, and he's funny because I didn't tell anybody who my dad is, like what his like name is on stuff when he pops up on Twitch and stuff. So to everyone else who jumps up in like the community, they're like, oh, it's just, you know, this guy's back. Hey, how you doing? You know, what's going on? And then, you know, my dad will then throw like some like, you know, some message up that'll be like just an inside joke between him and I gotta be like, that's funny, but also I'm not gonna out you like in front of him. Like I'm not gonna be like, thanks, Dad.
Dad,
like,
you're hilarious.
That was such a good one, Dad.
Oh my God, he must be so proud of you, bro. So proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
you would think so. You would think so, but you got to think about it like this: like you imagine something comes out of your ball sack, and 20 years later, that thing that came out your ball sack has a whole studio with a mic in front of him, like talking to the whole world. The whole world is in his hands. He's from a time where he didn't have the whole world in his hands and he could just talk to everybody. So he's like, what the heck? And I'm talking to him? That's crazy.
Don't even. I'm going to clip this and send it immediately to him. And it's, oh my God, it's going to be the funniest damn thing. He's such like a.
He's awesome.
He's an old school kind of guy. He like, when we have this like relationship where we just mess with each other all the time, and like it's all out of love. It's all out of like, you know, you know, we have a really good relationship and stuff. But for like, you know, my friends who are not used to my dad, and then, you know, him and I will like go at it. People are like, do you hate each other? And we're like, no, like, this is just our thing. And so when you said like, oh, he must be proud of you, I was like, well, that's the funny thing in our family is that, you know, he specifically will do everything that he can not to say, I'm proud of you. And like all the time, I'm just like, say it, Dad, say it. Just look me in the eyes, you know? And so like now I have to clip that and just send it to him. It's going to be so funny.
Yeah, I'm weak. Another thing, now that you're saying that, I feel like you and your dad have a bromance.
Like he's gonna love this episode.
Your father and son, but you also have a bromance. Because you know, when you have like, there's a difference between like a guy that's my friend, but my bromances be the ones that come into my chat and be like, "Yo, you suck, you're trash,"
100%.
And those are my best friends. I'm like, "Yo, 100%. Fuck you!"
Yeah, I got friends who will jump in the chat and like I'll be playing like a game or something, and like I was playing Lords of the Fallen, which is kind of like a Souls-like game.
Yeah.
And I was just getting my like ass handed to me. And like instead of like, you know, the comments and stuff being all positive, they were like, have you tried not getting hit? And I'm like, thanks guys. And they'll be like, have you tried not dying? And I'm like, I'm trying. I'm like,
yo, your closest people, bro.
Yeah.
There's literally a thing that me and my boys we do. We literally, right when they come into my stream, no matter what I'm doing, it doesn't matter if I'm even playing a game, they just say trash.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So it's so beautiful.
Good.
It's beautiful in a way. It's beautiful. It is.
Yeah. My dad's he is super supportive, and it's in his own way. Like he's told me, like, you know, how much he does really, you know, support everything that you know I do here. He calls me Hollywood in front of all of like you know, the people that like he'll meet and stuff, because he thinks it's funny that
he's
now
hilarious.
Like, especially like with what I do for work, and you know, now, you know, doing like the podcast and streaming, like I'm out there, you know. I work in the like live entertainment and music industry and stuff.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever heard of we'll talk about it off stream. I'm not gonna go blowing out all my you know
okay.
life and stuff.
No problem.
So like he calls me like Hollywood and stuff. And a part of me thinks like it's his like joking like jab thing, but like
Yeah,
also like yeah, like he really does like support. There's been some stuff in my life that
exactly.
I've done that he's like, you're an idiot, stop doing this. And then like there's things like this where he's like, hey man, like he listens to every episode when they come out on Saturdays, so I know he'll listen to this one. Like he's always popping up in like the streams and stuff. It's like kind of how he like winds down on the weekends and stuff. And you know, sit there in his chair in his living room, throw me up on the TV, and then like he'll text me like stuff and be like, hey, you know, I got like he'll go to bed at like 9 o'clock or whatever,
Yeah,
but he'll be like, hey, going to bed, thanks for the laughs, kind of thing. And I'm like, you know,
that's dope.
to be super real right now, like those are the like messages that I really do appreciate the most. You know, I get
That's
a
awesome.
text from my dad saying, you know, hey, great job. I get texts from people who have thrown in, you know, stuff in the chats and stuff, who are like, hey, great, you know, great stream, really enjoyed it. You know, don't let the technical issues like get you down. Like that was fun. I enjoyed it. Like, you know, those things. And it's motivation that like kind of allows me to understand that I'm on the right track,
Yeah,
as I'm fully sure that you 100% relate to.
100%. I even love the text when they're like, "Yo, I forgot to catch your stream. I was at work." You know what I mean? Like, even though they forgot to catch the stream or they didn't get a chance, the fact that they care enough to contact me and say that, I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
I
I
love
think I
that
sent
so
you a
much.
message the other night because I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
dude,
you did. You sent me one of those.
I was like, dude, I don't get off work until like 3 in the morning. So I'm like,
Yeah.
if you're, but I was surprised to have gotten the notification saying that you went live at midnight, and I was like, oh shit, I might actually be able to catch this one. You know, it's like,
I wasn't planning on it, but I was like, I want to play some video games right now. Which is honestly, I would love to have this conversation too, is schedule. Like, I think
yeah,
schedule is what people have a really hard time creating when they start streaming.
yeah, consistency.
Exactly, consistency. Me, I was always random, just whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I felt like playing games, I click the live button. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah,
Now I have a schedule, but my schedule is only Saturdays. Remember I told you that I say Saturdays.
and
That's when
you
I'm
do it
off.
the full like it's like 10, 12 hours, right?
Yeah, I do 10 hours minimum on Saturdays. Sometimes I do 15 hours. I do take breaks in between. I'm not crazy. I
I
don't
was just
sit
gonna say,
here.
how do you do it, dude?
I'm not. I do take breaks. I try to take a break every 3 hours if I can. At
Hey,
least
that's
like
good.
a
That's good.
10 to 30 minute break, stretch, go eat something, whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. A lot of people stay throughout those breaks too. People come, they leave, they come back later on. It's amazing. I get the most views, the most engagement, the most everything on those streams. I try to give my all on those streams too. But every other day, oh my God, my camera. Sorry. I need to fix this thing, bro. This thing is so annoying. We was just talking about technical difficulties. Look at that.
Yeah. See,
So
it's all the time, you know?
all the time, bro. So Saturdays are my days I do my 10-hour streams and I really go hard. But every other day is random. It's when I want to do it, how I want to do it, how I feel that day. Because that's what I want. I want it to be my business and how I run it. So
Right.
that's what I do.
Well, that sparked a question because I watched so much of, I think it was it last week or the week before? Definitely one of those 2 weekends. You were doing the final stretch of the DLC for Elden Ring, and you had the full 10-hour stream going on, right?
Yeah.
And I was busy as shit that day, but what was really really nice was being able to have it like so in here I call this the studio. It's basically just a spare bedroom I converted, but I got the TV here. I throw your stream up on the TV, and while I'm working on the computer, setting things up, doing scheduling, reaching out to people and stuff, I'm watching this stream. And I found myself more times than not getting almost distracted watching your stream because I'm wondering, and here's where the question comes in. You've dedicated a minimum of 10 hours to that Saturday stream, right? Elden Ring is not an easy game, all right? And I'm watching in the first couple of hours of that day, you're going strong. Everything's all like, oh, man, I can't believe this is going on, right? I have to dip out, and I go record a podcast, and then I have the editing, and then I have dinner with my family. When I come back, you are in front of you're fighting. It was the battle where you're fighting like I think it was like 8 enemies that like they're all like tanked out, and they just like kept coming in, and you were just like, this is like, I don't know, like the 10th attempt doing
Yeah.
this, and I was like, what's up, man, how you doing? I'm back in the stream. And you're just like, hey, yeah. And I'm like, dude, this is a tough as shit game to be blasting for 10 hours.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do you deal with the like, I'm gonna call it game exhaustion, where like you've hit a difficult point in the game where the frustration starts to kind of set in, but you can't flip out on you know, on camera and stuff. So how do you like deal with that, like, you know, mentally, or like as a content creator, like where's your mindset at those moments?
That's a good question. I love laughing at myself. So I'm constantly laughing at myself. When I rage or I'm getting frustrated, I really look at myself like, you're really getting mad because of a video game right now,
best,
bro.
Isn't it?
You know what I mean? So what I say to myself is way worse than what any video game could do, etc. So I just take a deep breath and I just try again. But sometimes I do kind of go off the edge a little bit. Like, that was my first 10-hour stream ever. So I'm glad that you were there.
Hey, nice.
That was my first one, like dedicated to one game for 10 hours.
Right.
I've always played Souls-like games. So I played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne. I didn't play Sekiro yet. I got to play that.
I haven't either. I heard it's really good, though.
It's good. I'll be watching videos. And going back to what we said before, sometimes we watch streamers because we don't have the game and we want to experience the game without having to buy it.
Or you're super busy, you just don't have the time, but you want to like have that experience again. Exactly. So you got to live through that streamer 100%.
Exactly. So when I was playing Elden Ring, another thing is like I said, I'm a grown man and I have a job. So I was like, I want to beat this game. Like, I want to get to the end. I like this game a lot. So I'm going to sit myself down and I'm going to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of bosses I didn't beat. Like, when you were away or while you're distracted, I couldn't beat them. So I just went around them, did other things, got stronger, then came back and whooped that ass. You know what I mean? And just kept rinsing and repeating that. Even the one that you seen when I was fighting all those mini bosses, the NPCs, that one was difficult. I'm not going to lie. Like, I was this close to like, all right, I need to take a break. I'm good. But I just kept going. And on like the 10th, 11th try, I was able to get it. But I did give up when I got to the last boss because I knew he was going to be really, really difficult. And it was already 10 hours in. And I was like, I need to refresh and rejuvenate so I could really tackle him. You know what I mean? So I basically almost beat the whole game in one sitting. I mean, the whole DLC, in one sitting.
Wait, hold on. So that 10-hour stream, you started the DLC?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So
nice, dude.
It was because I didn't have the money for the DLC, but I had the money for the DLC. I was like, oh my god, like I want this so bad. I'm like, if I buy this, I gotta beat it, right? Yeah. So when I first started the DLC, I was just roaming around a little bit. I couldn't do anything. I didn't know anything. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to sit for like a good 10 hours and really crank this thing out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So before I actually dove into the DLC, I looked up as much weapons and stuff like that as I can get in the original game so I can make it easier for myself. And then just started going crazy. So
that, that kind of reminds me. And I wholeheartly do the same thing most of the time. There Souls communities are pretty set on the way that they believe that Souls games should be played. Yeah. And there are a lot of people who will lose their minds if you even use a summon. And I'm like, listen, I don't have time for that. Like, I'm trying to enjoy this. I'm trying to blast through the game here. I'm trying to get, that enjoyment out of this thing. If I'm going to use a summon, I'm using 10 of them. All right. I'm going to use all of them.
Everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody. I'm calling in friends and favors and, everything, And it's like, dude, I want to enjoy this game. And so there are certain games where I will play without ever looking anything up. And then there's certain times where, like the game that we're playing right now on stream, I've played it enough times where I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to see something new. So I
Yeah,
will like look things up, or I'll make my own like certain notes
exactly.
and stuff, and like kind of like go through like that way. And it's I would almost say that it's become more enjoyable because it's aspects of the game that I would not have otherwise found. Um, but I think as a streamer, it's almost important to do what you did, because there is a level of watching a stream when you, how do I say this? You get to a point where, you know, if someone is super entertaining, awesome. But if they don't know what they're doing and it's just 3 hours of them running around in a circle trying to figure something
Exactly.
out, it's not as entertaining. Like, we
Exactly.
also want to see you like progress through the
Progress.
story and stuff. And so like, if we're all just trying to figure it out, like you know, it kind of becomes like a block from the you know, the viewers, but also like there you could easily, you know, almost create the exhaustion for yourself, because you're like,
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I don't want to like waste time on stream looking stuff up, you know.
exactly.
And so it's I want to say that I really enjoyed and appreciated how you tackled that game for that whole like 10-hour stream. It was incredible.
Thank you,
It
man.
was incredible.
Thank you.
Especially like I've, not to brag, I am a Elden Lord. But I have not played I have not played the DLC, but also I haven't played the game since it came out. So to kind of like relearn all of the controls,
Oh my God.
yeah, no thanks. But I have tried to go back since like the last like 2 weeks or so, and I made a new save file and I just started a whole new character, and I'm enjoying just kind of like playing through. Like, I'm not streaming it, I'm not doing anything else with it. You know, I just want to play
Nice.
it for my own enjoyment. Which one? You know, which I want to then ask: do you have games that you will specifically stream, and then games that you'll play on your free time, or do you use like that free time to game and stream at the same time?
So it's really a case by case basis. Um, I have a lot of games that I do love streaming, the free ones, because honestly, I'm a very frugal person. I try to save as much money as possible. So I
Yeah.
love playing free games like Overwatch 2, even though I rage on that. Call of Duty, Warzone, even though I rage on that. Fortnite, even though I rage on that. All the
Yep.
rage ones that are free, I don't mind playing them because they're
Yeah.
free, but they're also very convenient to just boot up and just go crazy.
Yeah.
But there are times where I just want to chill, lay back. Like a year ago, I used to stream Kingdom Hearts. I love Kingdom Hearts. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, bro. You know PS5, they have like a deluxe edition that has like all of them in one. I bought it used online. It was like $15. I popped that thing in. I'm still stuck in this Toy Story world. I really
Yeah.
rage quitting that game. That game is hard.
Yeah.
Like that. We
Yeah.
want to
I
talk
think.
about Elden Ring. Talk about
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts. That's a
Oh
hard
God.
ass game. Like you get
Yeah.
stuck. You don't know where to go. So chill, lay back, play that, stream it off my PS5. But when we're getting serious and we're trying to promote and engage, so there's two different things I feel like you can do. You can promote and engage, or you can sit there and have fun. I
Right.
don't think sitting there and promoting and engaging is fun. I don't think so. If you think it is, then I think that's amazing. But I want to play a game. I don't want to sit there sharing my stream to everybody, and that's annoying. You know what I mean? So what I do now is I'll promote a little bit to my friends that I know that watch, like you, like different people that I
Mm-hmm.
know that I'll pop in. I'll send you guys a link, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, on my free time when I'm not streaming and I have my phone in my hand, that's when I promote my channel to people,
Yeah.
because I can really put 100% into promoting my channel instead of thinking, oh, I gotta jump on this game, I'm playing this game, etc., etc.
Yeah. 100%. I'll do. Um, like I don't stream, you know, tonights. I don't stream on Fridays. Fridays are like, you know, during the day, you know, I do with, you know, I it's, you know, me and my kids. And then, I take some moments during the day to do like the podcast and editing and stuff. And on Saturday and Sunday nights,
Yeah.
after everybody's gone to bed, that's when I'll go doing like streaming and stuff. As soon as I hit stream, I don't let it's me, the community, and the game we're playing or whatever we're doing,
Yep.
And I focus 100% into the stream while streaming. And so like there's like some will jump in on the stream and they'll like be like, hey, especially people that I know, like not I don't really do like the links thing in chats because that can always get like hectic and stuff, but I'm like, hey, if you want me to see something, send it to me on Discord in our Discord like channel and stuff. And I can't, like, I'm not gonna look at it while we're on stream, but when we're done streaming, I'll go back and like catch things up.
Exactly.
I'll get the jokes, I'll comment stuff and write back and stuff. But when it comes to like just hanging out and like playing a game, like as of recently, my wife is writing a book, and so we try to schedule times for us to be able to focus on the things that we are doing as our side projects. And so there are scheduled times where I specifically work on this. And the wife and the kids, they're off doing something else. And then there are days where, like, before I go to work, because I'm a third shift person, or a night shift person. So during the day, I'll wake up like maybe 2-3 hours early, and then my wife will go out and have that time to write her book. Where now I will hang out with the kids, or we'll like play a game, or whatever. And it's at those moments when either we're watching a movie or a show or whatever, that's when I'll promote the show. I'll throw out like, hey, new episodes every Saturday for, the podcast, or, like, hey, we're doing this game or this, event thing happening on stream on this, time or whatever. And, but I think that's super, super important. That I think if you're promoting your stream while streaming, then I'm just watching you promote.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like I'm watching you for who you are and the content that you're producing. I'm not watching you to watch you send. You know what I mean? It's this weird circle, and it's like when you like, especially like you will stream, you give everything to stream, and it's honestly it's motivating, it's fantastic, it's super enjoyable, it's a fun, and your community is awesome. It's like the chats are always so like awesome, entertaining, they're fun, they're helpful. I like when you did it at one point. You kind of brought in, I don't know if you did this intentionally or if this was it just happened. But you were fighting. It was the DLC for Elden Ring, and you were up against the one, like, I think it's like basically like a jar with fire coming out of his head. Or whatever.
Yeah, he's like armored, a sun god dude.
Had like armored legs or something, and you were like, listen, I'm not gonna look this up. Somebody tell me like why can't I do this stuff? And it was kind of cool because like I was editing a podcast at that point. And then I was just like, oh, no, I want to be the first one to figure this out. And so I'm just like, get out of the way. Like, I'm going to figure this out, I'm like, look, I got Google up. I got the phone going and stuff. It's like,
we got you, boss.
Yeah, dude, it was fun. It was engaging. And like, and you really do respond to every single person who like, throws anything up in the comments and stuff. It's really cool. I mean, as a viewer, as a fan of what you do, you're doing an incredible job. So thank you for everything that you are doing to like create content and everything.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you saying that, honestly. And I love the community. If they see this, I love you guys. I appreciate everything you guys do for me. These are a lot of my childhood friends. These are a lot of people that I know in real life. Some people are random people that I met online. They're great as well. And I just love it, honestly. I love when they tell me about myself and also help me. Even if they're being a little mean sometimes, I don't mind. I've been cyberbullied by my chat a couple times. You know what I mean? But I take it.
Yeah.
But going back to the promotion thing, like you said, using that free time to promote, right. I don't know if you could agree, but I don't think you're really in the streaming business or content creation business if you're not on the toilet trying to promote, like taking a hot shit, and then you're there trying to.
Some of my best advertisements are done in the bathroom, bro.
Some of my best stuff.
Like, best ideas, best topics. I'm in that bathroom all the time.
Literally, bro. Any little bit of free time you can get,
man.
like now it's part of like the routine. You know what I'm saying? Like it's amazing. I take the bus to work sometimes because I work at the gym, and while I'm on the bus, I'm promoting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could drive the car too, which is ironic. But if I drive the car, I'm not gonna have time to do what I have to do. So it's also kind of finding excuses to promote, if that makes sense.
Well, and you said you're in New York, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, just driving in general has probably got to be a giant pain in the ass as it is. So
exactly.
Yeah, I'd definitely rather just work on my promotions and stuff on a bus than
let
than
somebody else drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crackheads be right there giving me advice and tips on what to do.
And you're like, thanks, dude. Nice.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. I will eat a ham sandwich while I'm streaming. Thank you. That's fantastic. It's weird I didn't think of that, you know.
I'm dead. Like, oh, that advice will be $5? Okay, I got you.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, thanks, man. Fantastic. I like the grind, you know.
So I do have a question for you. Was there a time where you had this equipment but you weren't really using it?
Kind of, in a way. Like I obviously, like I have the PS5 and the TV, and I've always had like, I don't think they're up here or anything. Yeah, I think they're downstairs. So I bought these like little mics that I would kind of like do. I thought that I would do content creation, but I've always backed out of it.
Yeah.
And I never knew how to like really start.
Yeah.
But I think it wasn't until this was November of last year when it really solidified in my mind that this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that the only way it's going to happen is if I just do it.
Yeah.
Like I just have to buckle down and do it.
Exactly.
But I also know I am a huge podcast listener and content consumer.
Yeah.
You said this at the very beginning, kind of that mindset where you love to imagine, being elsewhere or putting yourself in things that are just not this reality, you know, because you're living this all the time anyway.
Exactly.
I love getting, lost in a different world and stuff. And so I've always been like a super nerd. But when I listened to that panel and I thought, hey, this is exactly what I'm going to do, I knew that it was going to take some time. And so I started putting in like some really, really solid, like extra overtime hours at my job. I started coming up with like a business plan. I wrote everything down. I've got like notebooks that are constantly just all over my stuff, just filled with like notes and budgets and what I would need first, what's a necessity to make things work, what is just cosmetic. And so there is, if you go on Twitch and you go back to like my very first episode and stuff, I don't have any of this stuff. It's just me in a room just trying to play Stardew Valley because I knew it was one game that I didn't have to super focus on, and I could just try to learn streaming and talking to myself kind of thing. So in a way I had some of the things, but I think in my situation I knew that I had the capability of getting the hours to get the budget, and I know that in order for me to hold my attention on people that I'm like listening to through whether it be a podcast or a YouTube video or a stream, number one thing for me is audio quality.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I was like, if you sound like you're 3 miles away and you're like talking through a tunnel, like it's just really hard for me to focus on the things that you're creating. And so the very first things that I did was I invested in these mics here, and I got 2 of them because sometimes I have guests in the studio.
Yeah.
So I invested into this, and I got some cheap, mic stand just to kind of hold it. I got the Focusrite 2i2. And then, I made sure that all my stuff was, through XLR cables and stuff. So I made sure that, number one, even if my my camera was shit, my audio would sound really good. And then
Exactly.
as I kind of picked this up and I started seeing that, what my projects started growing legs and really started to take off, then I was like, okay, I can justify investing into my own project. And that's when I got this camera. The only issue, I just don't know where the hell to put it. It's constant. Sometimes you'll go back in
It's
videos
moving
and
around
it's like
everywhere.
it's over here, it's over here. Sometimes it's up here. Like, I don't know, man.
I understand.
But
I
it's,
honestly hate where my camera's at, but
yeah. But it's that the thing is, like, I have like it's just a chair I got at Target because I'm like, I just wanted to have something to sit on.
yeah,
Like, the things that I have invested into this project are for the viewers watching it. Whereas, like, if I can get something for myself to make my end like easier, that's after I get everything else, taken care of. So
exactly. I
I
think
guess to answer the question, yes, but mainly not really. I think I really just I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and I
nice,
made sure that I budgeted specifically for it.
nice. You're different from a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of streamers. There's some people that have this equipment in their house and it's just sitting there. Like they wanted to do it, now they have it, they're not doing anything with it. And it's kind of sad because it's like at one point you wanted this and you hoped and prayed to have it. Now
Yeah,
you have it and you're not taking advantage of it. But
yeah,
like you said, I think audio is honestly way more important than video. Like I had my audio nice and going before I had the crispy camera, ring light, all that stuff. Because you want people to hear you, even if
right,
you're off camera. They'd rather hear something nice because if the ears are sensitive, if they hear something that's not right, they're probably gonna turn off the video right away and then go to
right,
something else. You know?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also something where me personally, I like things to be like multi-purposeful. So I can't justify buying one thing specifically because I know it's going to have that one purpose. That's it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when I decided to go for like the mics and the audio interface that I have, I knew that I was going to use it for the podcast. I can use it for streaming. I can use it to just record stuff. I can do stuff where, like, maybe my kids and I are just making goofy little videos that
Exactly.
we never put out to the public, but it's just fun to have. Now I have those, or like I bought the little microphones specifically because my our friend of the show, Noah, and we really like going to like conventions. And some of the fun, the most fun that we enjoy about the conventions is that we can mic up and just walk through the convention. I think we streamed for about 2 hours out at the Too Many Games convention
Yeah.
on Twitch, and then but also just for like whether we're putting stuff out on like on YouTube or on TikTok or something, just to be able to like mic up and record those things. Because you never know, like when you're at a convention, you could run into somebody and have like a really, really cool conversation that you'd be like, hey, this would be amazing content to be able to share with people. And now I have, the microphones and all that stuff. I think it's just in
Exactly.
my backpack because I'm like, the backpack goes with me everywhere I go. So I always have the microphones. I always have the portable battery pack. So everything in this room has to have like a multi-purpose, especially even to the clips that I have on like the side of my wall. At the end of the weekend when I'm done doing my projects, everything in this room, like the lights go out, it turns back into like a normal room. All the microphones have quick releases from the tables and stuff. Those all come off, and then they are hung up on the walls. So everything, I'll send you a
Oh
picture
wow.
after this. So like when I'm done doing like my project on the
Yeah.
weekend, you wouldn't know that this is my studio. This would just look
Wow.
like a media room where someone
I
just,
like that.
likes nerdy shit and
I
plays
like
video
that.
games.
I like that. I can't do that with my setup, honestly, but I like the fact that your setup is basically mobile. Like
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
if you wanted to, you could. I don't know if you've seen this, but Kai Senat's most recent stream, he's in
Yeah.
a U-Haul truck, in the back of a U-Haul truck. So just thinking like you going to conventions, you going anywhere
Hmm.
and able to just pop it on and make content, and that's amazing, bro.
It was also kind of one of those thoughts that we had super early on, where I knew that I would want to do an episode with a bunch of people at one time.
Yeah.
And so to do that, I definitely can't fit everyone in this room. This room is super small, even though it looks a bit bigger on camera. I'm sitting currently in the middle of the room.
Okay.
It is not a big room whatsoever. Okay.
Okay, I get
It is this chair, and then there is one recliner, and that takes up 90% of the floor
wow.
space.
Okay.
So it's not very big. But what's really nice is that when we do we call it the buddy stream. We have a friend who, like I said earlier, does the bed and breakfast at the mansion, and we're thinking about bringing all the setup so that we can just do like a big podcast episode.
Yes.
But the important thing is that I can just pack all this stuff up with absolute ease and take it to where we want to go.
That's
so
amazing.
There was a lot of thought going into this entire project, where I wanted to make sure that like I had all my bases covered, so that when day one hit, I dropped 3 episodes right off the bat, so you had like a good variety of what I was about. And then when we do like the streaming and stuff, like all of the content is very new, but I have been working on this project for the past like year now.
Exactly.
So it's something.
That's amazing. Talking about investments, I definitely want to mention waste of money when it comes to streaming. Things to not invest your money in personally is these gaming chairs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all ears, because I'm like, listen, bro, when I get like $1,000, that's what I wanted to do. I want to do it so bad,
bro. And I have a pretty good so I have Respawn.
Okay.
So Respawn is pretty good. Respawn was one of the bigger ones, bigger names. The reason why I say it's a big waste of money is because they're too expensive. Like this one, when I got it, was like $300, I think, like close to $300, which is ridiculous for a chair.
For a chair,
and
yeah.
You can get
I think mine was like $25. I got it at Target.
And it does the same job. It does the same thing.
It's the same shit. I can do this.
Yeah. I can't. He's not gonna do. You see, I can't even do that right now, because you know why? This thing breaks. They break pretty easily, and I'm not even rough with this thing. Like, it starts getting real loose. Like, the arms are really loose right now. One arm fell off one time, and I had to reattach it. The pillow behind is okay. It's not really that necessary. You know what I mean? But the chair that you have is a really good chair, because you're not spending $300, and if something happens to that, you can get a whole nother chair real quick. But these guys right here, honestly, I feel like they're a big waste of money. Big waste of money.
So what would you say would be, like, if you were to, let's say, someone who were to listen to this episode, and they were to say, like, hey, what is one big do and one big don't when it comes to like being, whether it be producing content or like a streamer, like what it would be like if you were to narrow it down, the number one do and the number one do not when it comes to creating content or streaming?
I feel like there's a lot of do's. There's a lot of do's. I think the don't is easier. I think you shouldn't want to hurt people or hurt yourself, no matter 100%. What kind of context that is, because the people will come after you. Okay, the people are going to come after you. So 100%, don't do that. Don't do it by yourself, like at all. Like we said before, find people who are like-minded, who want to help you or want to learn more and willing to be there and give you assistance, or their smarts and their capabilities will help you a lot more than you trying to hammer it and think about it yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even my PC, upgrading the components, I don't do that myself. I have my friend, he comes, he helps me out. Even cleaning my PC, taking it apart and dusting it is very sensitive stuff. So he comes and he helps me out with that as well.
Yeah.
I really got a wake-up call, Josh, a big wake-up call when I moved.
Hit me with it.
Because I moved to another state.
Yeah.
My guy's in another state. And then I had
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Even though you're yeah, I was like, "What's the problem, dude? He's just moving."
What's going on?
What, you had a different room? All right, whatever.
I don't have what you have. You know what I mean? I don't have. I don't have.
Listen,
pick it up and put it down.
Shit, I got a closet with windows. That's what I got.
Bro, my computer was in pieces. Everything was in pieces, wires, and it was a lot. But I told myself I have to figure this out. So what I did is I figured it out. It really, honestly, luckily, I'm observant. You know what I mean? Like when he did things on my computer, I watched him. Like I really watched him. I didn't think I retained all that information, but I did, and I was able to implement it when I was by myself, and I was able to set everything up. The funny thing is, I didn't set everything up perfectly. So I wasn't using my monitor at its full capabilities, like the 144 hertz. This girl,
you said that on stream. Yeah.
This girl I know actually helped me figure that out. She's like, yo, your monitor is only on 60 hertz. It's supposed to be on 144. And I'm looking at her like, you fucking nerd. I don't know what the hell you're even talking about. The fact that you think, I don't know the difference. But then she switched it for me. And I'm always willing to listen to people, take other people's advice. I'm like a sponge. You know what I mean? It's so funny. I got a SpongeBob shirt on. But I'm like a sponge. Like I soak up the information. So if somebody's willing to tell me something, I'm always willing to give them that 5 minutes to explain it to me, so I can learn and be better myself. So those are the don'ts right there. Don't hurt nobody. Don't hurt yourself. And don't be afraid to ask for help and look for help, or you're going to go crazy.
That's a big one, yeah.
All right. Do's is obviously help others, but also like, you know, I don't want to sound too religious, but do unto others as you want to do unto you. Of course. You want people to support your platform, go out there and support other people's platforms. Find streamers that you like, especially the smaller ones that will recognize you, will see your chat, will see your name pop up when it says, you know, you followed, and give you a shout out. Those are the people that will support you in return. But also, you know, communicate with them, you know, see how they're doing. Like actually open up to them a little bit if you can. Like if you feel like you can help them with something, offer your help before you start asking for help. That always helps me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the big do. Yep.
Yeah, mine's definitely less. I don't even know. Mine's less specific. Mine was just going to be like number one do for me is have fun. If you're not having fun at what you're doing, don't do it. You know, but
100%.
Yours is definitely a gateway to success, and mine's do good. You know, like
you got it, bud.
Yeah, you're doing great, dude. But yeah, I mean, I honestly, like I've said it before. I'll continue to say it. I'll say it a million times. Like this show, streaming, podcast, everything. I have met some of the most incredible people, and being able to have like some of the most like memorable conversations that I will have, you know, literally now forever. It's been super incredible, and the only way that I was able to even do that is like is getting over that ego of like, oh, I'm not good enough to be able to do this, or I'm not confident enough to be able to reach out and stuff. Like the only way that you're going to be able to do these things is to just know that like whatever struggle you're having while doing the creation, whoever you idolize has been doing that a million times over. It's just happened years ago.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It's just, I think one of the biggest things that I've learned is that like the community as a whole, you know, when I reached out to you, our friend of the show for, you know, our streamer friend, Control Quinn.
Yep.
Also like super supportive, super welcoming. Like, it really is incredible, just the community and the amount of support that everyone has. So yeah, I just kind of want to build off of what you said. Like if you're thinking of doing it, do it. Like the only thing that literally stands in your way is you know?
And I'm glad you brought up Quinn, because Quinn, seeing people like Quinn and also my boy named Rhythm God, seeing them stream like made me understand that I could do it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, imitation is flattery. So I was definitely flattered to see them up there and have a platform. And the crazy thing is seeing them, like Quinn, sometimes when she gets on Twitch, she has almost 100 people watching her sometimes. It's amazing. And sometimes
Yeah.
she jumps on my stream and I got like 5 people watching me. But I get a little starstruck. Even though I know this girl, I'm like, oh my God, she's in my
Yo, me
chat.
too.
Oh my
I
God.
love Quinn. Quinn's fantastic. We had Quinn on one of the episodes.
She's amazing.
Absolute fantastic human. Like, it's so amazing.
I love how she does her stream too, where it's conversational. Like she plays games, but she'll start going on to a story, like, and she'll just be sitting in a World of Warcraft lobby, just sitting there, and then having a whole engaging conversation. And you hear her typing to her, like, "Yeah, I know what that. How you doing?" So you're like engaging even more, and it's amazing how she does it. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
We love Quinn. It's amazing. And honestly, thank you so much for doing this. Like you're absolutely killing it. Keep it up. Honestly, like your content is gold. What you're doing is fantastic.
Thank you.
The positive vibes that you bring to every single stream is incredible. I would please, let's connect. Let's do another date for doing like another episode and stuff.
I would love to.
I got so many things that I would love to just dive into. Just the interest, the games that I wrote a note down earlier. We just didn't get to it, but I want to go into your art, man.
Yeah.
I want to do. I want to go into like what the gaming interests and stuff before all of the streaming and the creations and stuff. Like I would love to dive into it, and we got to talk about animes because I need some recommendations, but also I got some questions. All right, so
I'm a big anime nerd too. Look at that.
Hell yeah, that's yeah. I got my. I think, is it this arm? Yeah, I have my nerd arm here.
Oh, that's dope.
Weirdly kind of odd. Like I have move my damn mic out of the way. I have my favorite podcast emblem here.
Yeah, I see the Zelda.
I got Link and Dark Link there. I got Forrest Gump over there.
Nice.
I'm all I'm
fire.
I'm
looking like a Chipotle bag. I love it, man.
Dude. Hey, at the end of every show, I really like to open the floor up completely for all promotions and anything and everything that you want to throw out there, whether it be favorite movie, great TV show, a sandwich you ate yesterday. I want to throw out everything and anything, and then always we throw the links down in the description below. What's some things that we can where can we find you? Where can we find your content? Those types of things.
I appreciate you asking and allowing me to share. All platforms, honestly, Jugenslagz. That's JUGENSLAGZ. That's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. I'm in the midst of promoting a lot of things and trying to get to new goals. So everything is the same name. Instagram, you can find me on there. I also do art as well. So you'll find links to my art as well on there. Just check out the stream. That's the main thing I want to push and plug right now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. I think you said this a little while back, and I wanted to ask you about it real quick. Do you have merch?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my. I'm actually wearing a shirt that I made.
I got you.
Right? Thank you. Thank you for saying that. So this is called the Poom. Yep. So this doesn't really have to do with my gaming, but my fitness. So I fell in love with fitness recently. I'm a personal trainer, so I also sell gym clothing that you can work out in that just makes people laugh. The Poom is not an acronym. It doesn't stand for anything. It means it means the pump, like the pump you get when you work out, but a funny way of saying it. So I just love making little cute things or funny things to make people laugh and smile while they're at the gym so they can enjoy their time a bit better. So definitely going to send you the link to that site. So if anybody want to go on there,
do.
It's my Shopify. You can order things. Got amazing stuff on there. Thank you for reminding me. For real.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I've been checking it out. I like it. I will be honest. In the very beginning, I did not know what poomp was, and there was a long time where I was trying to figure out what the hell the acronym could be. I was like, I'll ask on the
So
on the podcast.
I love the fact that it does that to people because it makes people keep thinking about it. You know what I mean?
It does.
It does.
It sticks in the head, man.
They're like, what the heck does that? It sounds. Somebody said it sounds like I don't like. She said it sounds like strippers are gonna be in there. I was like, what? She's like, it sounds like a strip club. I'm like, okay, but at the end of the day, the reason why I started this, to be honest, and I really want to share this with everybody because as an artist, sometimes it's hard to create. You always want to be philosophical or change the world, or whoever sees it wants to be amazed. But sometimes we just have to calm down and understand that you don't always have to be great. Sometimes you have to just be mediocre, because when you're mediocre, you do something simple, you can learn your mistakes from the simple stuff. You do the simple stuff first, you make it simple as possible. Then when you want to do the big things, like with your name on it and you have your brand, you're past those mistakes. So I actually made this for a way for me to feel fulfilled as an artist, but not be so hard on myself. Like I got to make a world changing design, or, the streets got to hear me. I'm not Yeezy. I'm not Kanye. I'm not none of that. I want to be me. So I want to be simple and learn those things. And then when I'm past those things, really put my name on the things that I love.
100%, dude. Yeah, dude, I love that. Dude, I mean, I can't think of anything else but to say just absolutely thank you so much. This was absolutely super fun, super enjoyable. I love this. Is there anything else before we bring this episode to a close that you want to shout out or throw out there?
Shoot, let me think. My sister, I love my sister. She does hair. She does my hair. I don't know if you guys see it. I have dreadlocks. So she does retwists. She's on Facebook. Her name is Vasti Laguerre. That's VASTHI Laguerre, LAGUERRE. Facebook, Instagram. Please check out my sister's stuff. She's amazing at what she does. Some people say I look like an anime character, and I really like what she does with my hair. I love it a lot.
I see it.
I see it. Other than that, I'm also gonna eventually start putting fitness content out there on live stream and on my YouTube and stuff like that. Still working out the kinks on that, seeing who can help me out, because it is hard. And yeah, my stream, like I said, and my art is Jugs Art. So that's JEWGZART on Instagram. You can check my art out. I also do commissions. So if you ever want me to create something for you, like a painting or a t-shirt, I can make those things for you as well. But nice. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you.
No, dude, thank you so much. This was super awesome. Yeah, when we end this one, send me all those links, and I'll definitely, I'm gonna go through and put everything, like I said, at the bottom of the description here.
Got you, brother.
If you like what you see, what's up? How you doing? You can find my wonderful self on Instagram at Phoenix Stewart. You can also find the show on Instagram at Who What Now Pod. We are also on TikTok, Who What Now Pod, as well. But we also have the this episode comes out everywhere you find podcasting, and if you want to see the video edition of the episode, go check it out on YouTube. And if you're watching this, you nailed it. If you want to go check us out on streaming, we're on Twitch at twitch.tv/Phoenix Stewart, PhoenixStwrt. We're going to throw that also in the description. And honestly, as always, please go outside, look up at the sky, feel the sun on your face, hug a tree, high five a squirrel, and we'll catch you on the next one.
And wash your ass. You got to do that too.